Okay, pause, let's set the stage. This isn't just your average court hearing. What's happening here is a battle over tenant rights, hazardous living conditions, and whether or not the court's previous orders are being followed. The judge is trying to make sense of what's been done and what's just been claimed. Quick question: if your landlord swore repairs were finished, but your ceiling still leaks, what would you do? Let me know in the comments.
And completed. Indicated that I would receive something yesterday. I received it today. I've attempted. You sent it to me over here.
Yeah, the green items are 100% complete. The way this was compiled was Chad Brewer, our inspector, entered all of these apartments after our last court meeting and met with many of the residents and detailed out any complaints they'd told you, any complaints they'd told legal aid, and any new complaints they wanted to tell Chad. So this is a very, very comprehensive list of everything going on in these apartments. A lot of it's new, though, just as of 2 days ago, and it's all compiled here. And then what's highlighted in green is complete, and everything else we're working on today, tomorrow, hiring contractors, following up with contractors, pulling the necessary permits, all of that stuff.
I guess the green ones are completed.
The green is completed, yes.
Presuming that this is right, of the 21 units that I listed back on February 4th, only 6 have been completed.
On that original order, most of it was related to no heat, and we've determined that everyone has heat. That was the main focus. And then now there's much smaller issues.
Well, there was no heat, there's mold, there were other items that were on that list. And I'm now well into this, and I have 6 units. I don't get it.
6 units where 100% of the issues are complete.
That doesn't mean that there hasn't been progress made on others, however.
I get that, but I also, the court issued an order, and from what I'm seeing on this list, I don't.
Now, here's the legal rub. The judge is not just annoyed, he's documenting non-compliance. When a court issues an order, that's not a polite suggestion, it's a binding directive. Failure to comply, that can result in civil contempt, which means fines, sanctions, or even jail time for responsible parties. You can almost hear the judge's patience thinning by the second.
Was a list that was provided by legal services of some people who are not involved in the litigation, who had what they perceived to be critical issues, which some of them were, and those were addressed. So there were more issues than there were orders, and they had to do some triaging in the sense of what was more, I guess I'll say, habitable issues as opposed to other types. So there was some triaging done by the contractor, understandably, given another list from legal services.
Yeah, and 6 of the apartments are now vacant.
Ms. Kim, you were going to say something?
Just as to this list with the green coloring, I just wanted to point out that some of the work that is alleged to be done, we've spoken with tenants here, and they are not done. I can be more specific if the court would like. So
Please.
It said that she was sprayed for her roach infestation, but the tenant reports it's not true. That they never showed up. She has
Is she here?
Yes.
I didn't even know they said they cleaned my apartment. I just got an email like the day before stating that they were going to come between the hours of 12 and 2.
Today?
Yesterday. They never came at all. And I stayed home. I even told my job I'd be late just to make sure that maybe they might come after. and I didn't leave the house till 5,
Yesterday.
and no one came to spray my apartment. And I took pictures of the roaches that live with me, you know.
We share dinner sometimes. That's what the tenant just said about the roaches in her home. It's dark humor masking a terrifying truth. People are living in infestations, waiting on promises of pest control that never came. These aren't exaggerations. These are desperate survival stories hidden in plain sight. How would you handle this if you were stuck in her shoes?
And German roaches multiply at a faster rate. And that is why when they put
You're an entomologist now.
yeah, actually an entomologist came to my house.
Okay, wow. All right. So this is a problem. If I have, my statement was not to be we were in church, so I don't need anybody to sign on. But all right, but appreciate it. I have her here saying it wasn't done. I have a document submitted to the court saying it was done.
Your Honor, I can't even hear myself half the time, much less hear what's going on when I've got people in
Okay,
behind.
folks, you're gonna have to quiet, please. So this is a problem because she's standing before me telling me nobody showed up. This list that I have says somebody came, and oh man. And both can't be true.
It does state on the email that I need to leave the premise once he comes for 3 to 4 hours because they were bombing.
That they were bombing, but they never showed up. So you didn't have to leave, you were just there. Lady, is there another one, or is that just that one that you had?
That is the sample from the list, but also the list does not include a tenant who reported severe repair issues to the court and are part of the order.
I think there's 4 that I identified that aren't on this list that were part of your order, Your Honor.
4, say that again.
I just did a quick.
Yeah, no, that's fine, because
4 that were included in your order are not listed on this spreadsheet.
They may have been the ones that have vacated. There's, I think, 6 who vacated.
Well, you said there's this one.
Not on this list, Your Honor. We have a tenant who has no heat as of Monday. She went to the office immediately on Monday to report it, and we received a document from Mr. Beal saying that she reported it just yesterday. And she just showed me her emails and messages and so forth. So she still has no. So we ask that she be added to the order.
the representation, as the court understood it, that was made to me was that heat had been checked in these units. And I know at the time of the hearing back on Tuesday, I don't recall which tenant it was, had explained that, yeah, the heat may be working there, but then there are the other rooms that were still cold. And I'll be honest with you, with this young lady sitting here before me right now, I get there's the heating issues, but this young lady sitting here before me right now, and I'm looking at a list that says something's done, and she's telling me that it's not done, is a huge problem. I don't know what to believe, but I'm gonna be honest with you. Yeah, I believe her.
I'm looking at the Griffin pest control report that says her unit was treated. That's why I relayed that to the court. But yeah, we need to break.
But Mr. Beal, it doesn't work that way. I issued an order that certain things be done. I was supposed to get a list yesterday so that I could more thoroughly go through that list. I didn't get it. I didn't get it till this morning. I did the best I can in looking at this list. This list is telling me, just by way of example, that her unit was treated. Without her being here to tell us something different, the court would assume that it was treated. I don't care where the information came from. I don't care what you looked at. I don't care what was presented in what way. No one makes a misrepresentation to this court about what's done, ever.
We would need the opportunity to bring the Griffin pest control technician to testify to the court.
Well, get him here today. If I'm gonna have to play these games, we're gonna play them by my rules on my turf.
And here it is, the gavel drop moment. The judge hits his limit when he says, if I'm going to have to play these games, you're going to play them on my turf. He's signaling that this hearing just escalated. This is no longer about misrepairs. This is about credibility, deception, and court integrity. You can bet subpoenas are next.
Complaints coming through. Some of them you're telling me are new. I don't know what to believe, but I'm gonna tell you, I'm having a hard time believing you guys right now.
Don't lump me in there.
The note.
Your Honor. The plumber who came in today spoke with the main office, and I do have the plumber's name. The main office also confirmed that Griffin never came to my building.
The what?
That the Griffin Pest Control never came to my building.
Who confirmed that?
The front office told the plumber when he called, because I let him know that I never had pest control.
Then why is it represented to the court? Mr. Friedman, you better talk to your client, because I do not play that way. You can talk to him. I don't even want to hear anything right now. I'm going to stand in recess.
I have a 3 o'clock. How about we reconvene with you? I have 3 o'clock with you.
You better talk to your client, because I want to know. I have no idea. I got 6 things on this that supposedly are done, but now I don't even have that done because she's telling me it's not done.
They said they were gonna probably get to it today or tomorrow, but saying that it was supposed to be done one day, but not doing it and claiming you did it is lying.
Sir.
We just got that list right when you got the list. Well, actually about a half hour later. And things that are in here that they are done, we either have not gotten a permit for, so fixing drywall, or permits were pulled today to do that work, and we have not scheduled an inspection. So, and any of the units pending in your case, no inspections have been scheduled to do the work. 2 permits have been pulled total. And so,
so if it tells me, just if I'm hearing you, so if it tells me drywall's been done, it couldn't have been done, or it was done in violation of the city ordinance, because it shouldn't have. Court's gonna stand in recess.
All right.
I think when we ended, there were there's an indication in terms of what was provided for the court wasn't quite true. I was then sent the, I guess, service inspection report from Griffin. And I thought the young lady who was, I thought she was here.
Your Honor, she was present, but then she had class.
Got it. Oh. The inspection report, let me just pull that up on my screen. For her unit, that's not, I mean, it's a misnomer to say that that was complete, because it's not complete. I'm not even sure, based upon what she had told us, that there was an inspection of her unit to even get the indication that the unit's sanitary, because she said nobody was there. So
I don't know what Griffin did, but I know they sent Mr. Beal a bill for inspecting it, and I guess I don't think that it's unfair for Mr. Beal to assume that if he got a bill for an inspection, the inspection was done.
But the problem is, I appreciate that, but the problem to say that there's the next column over where there is nothing in there regarding in progress, but her unit hasn't been exterminated. There's been no chemicals or anything applied to her unit according to this.
What I heard her to say, and I don't know if she's conversant, but she seemed to be. What I heard her to say was that there was an inspection that said that she had German roaches and it needed to be bombed. And I assume that she heard that from somebody other than her neighbor.
Right. But, and here's what I guess I'm getting at. But it seems to me that then in the in progress column on this sheet, there should be something there. This makes it look like it's done, but it's not done. There were a number of different units on this, but it doesn't tell me, let's say that it does have to be bombed, but it doesn't tell me when that's going to happen or if it's going to happen. Nothing on here tells me that it's going to happen even. I'm also concerned what was reported from the inspector from IPSI that there are indications that certain work that would require permits is done, but the permits hadn't been pulled.
I think it depends on which properties and which units, because Your Honor, some drywall work needs to be inspected, I understand. If there was something behind the drywall that was causing the problem, you have to make sure that what was behind the drywall causing the problem was fixed before you can get the drywall permit closed. But then there's also drywall work that's more or less just cosmetic, where somebody's banged into a wall or something and the people fix it. So I don't believe that Mr. Myers would say any drywall work, if a door punches a hole in the drywall, requires a building permit to be patched and fixed. And so, go ahead.
Actually, I also have my building official here to discuss some of these things, if I may.
Yes.
Can I have Mr. Dunham come up as well?
Absolutely. Just make sure to place your names on the record.
Yeah. I'm Joe Myers. I'm the Community Services Director, and I have Jerry Dunham, the Building Department Manager and Licensed Building Inspector, Official, and Builder. And so the reason why we wish we would have gotten this list earlier is we could have went through some of the things they are actively pulling permits for in other units, just not in these units. And when they're saying things are done, when we haven't even had an inspection, it's hard for us to know that. And so while there are some small drywall fixes, the vast majority of the ceiling and drywall in disrepair, especially due to the pictures Mr. Beal has sent us directly on the mold growing behind, we would want to actually ensure that any drywall repair is done correctly to the code. And so Mr. Dunham can actually speak to that. But that's where, because we just got this list today, we want to go out and inspect. And so our plan is hopefully to do that on Monday if the proper notice is given to the tenants. But once again, we don't even have all of the properties that are before you right now on this list that we received today.
Right. Sir, what did you want to tell me, if anything?
Well, we were talking about the drywall repair stuff. We have told the property that any drywall repair in a fire assembly, which would be ceilings in apartment buildings, or areas where we have noted that there was mold or moisture, all those do require a building permit, because that is liability with fire separation. You have to have it fixed correctly. Can't just, sometimes a little hole, you cannot just patch that little hole. You have to cut it a certain size because it's part of a fire rated assembly. That's how it's tested. So a couple of these on the green for different properties do not have, that say ceiling, drywall repair, don't have a building permit at this time for that project.
So, I guess, Mr. Freeman and Mr. Beal, when do the property intend to comply with the court's order? I mean, if complying with the court's order means that I first have to get to the city of Ypsilanti and get an inspection before I do it, at least I would begin to see that progress. I'll be absolutely honest with you, I'm flabbergasted and a bit disappointed that this is the list that I have and that this is all that's been done in effectively almost 2.5 weeks.
Your Honor, I think that it's important to note that I understand the court's frustration, period, but it is important to note that it's been represented that there's been 2 building permits pulled on these subject properties, but there's been 40 building permits pulled total. There's a lot of work that's being done at these properties, at these buildings, that is in addition to the work that's being done on these cases where there's about, I think there's about 20 in front of you with respect to these repair issues. So it's not as if Beal's team is completely ignoring this problem or this project. They're doing a lot of work out there, and they may be spread too thin, but that doesn't mean that they're not trying to get the job done.
Yes.
To be clear, the 2 permits being pulled are for the units before the court right now. I do have 38 permits that have been pulled on the property.
Yes, sir.
I also do want to bring up that this afternoon, one of the units on this list we have tagged as being unsafe, unlivable because of the condition of that unit. Also in that same building, it's not on the list, but we also condemn that unit as being unsafe because of the conditions we saw this afternoon out there.
Is somebody living in that unit?
Yes.
With 4 kids.
It'd be
Edwina Harris.
Harris,
The one that spoke up about her sewage and.
so we checked the sewage issue out there, and
so
because of that, we had to tag it unsafe.
She is. So,
yeah.
So Ms. hang on one moment. So her unit's been tagged as
Unsafe.
Oh, dear God. Ms. Harris.
Yes, sir.
Miss Harris, 5 kids, standing water, flies, no heat. And what was the landlord's offer? To move her into another condemned unit. Let that sink in. This is the core of the judge's fury, not paperwork. But people, if this doesn't enrage you even a little, rewind that section and listen again.
Right now, currently, it's me and my 2 oldest.
So we're gonna offer.
No, you're not just offering. She's going to be in a hotel with those 2 children tonight. I don't care what you've got to do. She is not staying in that unit if it's tagged. So you can offer what you want. She better be housed someplace else tonight. So Ms. Harris, you packed up the things that you need. Somebody's going to be over there. You guys are going to have different living accommodations tonight until this court says otherwise.
Okay.
Okay. So was there anything else?
We're actually, so in that building, we have given the property owner 2 hours to actually start to do some of the work, because when we were in there, the conditions, Mr. Don saw the vast majority. Mine was just in Miss Edwina Harris's apartment, but that building, if you want to see some of the pictures, it's quite horrific.
Which building is that one?
Mm-hmm.
And are there other residents?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, and there was one other unit when I was there, I tagged on the spot unsafe.
Another unit, but that's not one that's before me.
Yeah, it doesn't appear, I don't believe it's before you, it'd be unit 1.
Is it possible for them to get it livable in 2 hours?
No. Well, the one unit was the 2 units that were the main issue are vacant units. One has a bunch of trash. So you walk in that building, it just smells terrible because a unit's completely filled of trash that's vacant, that's unsecured, that squatters have been living in. The other unit next to it, which is below unit, that unit, it has sewage leak or water leak. Everything else, carpet was completely soaked in the unit. So they had to get someone out there to start cleaning up the water, tearing out the carpet, tearing up any drywall that's molding, the sewer leaks. I mean, it was pretty bad. I got pictures of it if you wanted to see.
Harris, we not forget her last name, but in her unit, I would say it's one of the better units that we have actually inspected as far as cleanliness on the tenant's part. But there was so many flies, and she had a lot of fly strips based on the standing water in the unit. The flies are just everywhere. We were seeing them buzzing around. And like I said, normally we understand that sometimes tenants are a problem. This unit was, in my opinion, very well maintained. Just there was nowhere for the sewage to go, and it was backed up.
Oh my God.
And then as far as her heat, she presented us the work order over them saying her furnace is broken and she might have a furnace by Monday. So, and I gave that to legal aid as well. We've asked.
We asked her to be relocated, and Mr. Beal's response was that she should move in with her son.
In another condemned apartment.
Bill, you saw what I just ordered as it regards Miss Harris. If there are others that are similarly situated, I think that's what you ought to anticipate this court is going to order, and that you best just do it. And I can't make it any clearer than that. I realize those cases are under my jurisdiction, so I can't specifically order it, but they're going to get here somehow or another, because this is, you guys don't have the right to have people live like this. You just don't.
And I understand Your Honor, I understand your position thoroughly. And I'm not saying I disagree with anything you said today.
Okay, go ahead.
But I do believe that that Mr. Beal sincerely believes that he's trying to be part of the solution, not the problem, and that he has crews out there. They are working. They are trying to be responsive. And I don't believe that he inherited this mess, I guess is the best way I can put it. He didn't cause it.
I understand that, but if part of what, I get that. And maybe I could sit there and applaud him on the back all I want. All I know is that as I look at all of these folks when they're in my courtroom, these are human beings that are having to live in a circumstance. Ms. Harris, when she was standing before me, she tells me what the problem is, and maybe I didn't ask the right questions, and for that, Ms. Harris, I apologize. But that she's got it's her and her 4 babies are living in a place of just sewage and flies all around. And so if you're gonna fix it, okay, fix it. But you just can't have these human beings, these people, real people, just living in this garbage. You just can't. None of that is okay.
Can I say something really quick?
Hold on, Miss Harris. Yes, Miss Harris, go ahead.
I'm on my way to work, but who do I get in contact with for tonight? Like, who am I supposed to call? Do I have to?
Mr. Beal, who's she gonna call?
Can you give me your phone number, please?
I wanted to raise an issue regarding plaintiff's continued efforts to collect rent from the tenants. Many of the tenants today that we spoke to told us that they're constantly being asked to pay. There was directly to plaintiff.
Yeah, there was one notice actually that was given to Mr. Myers where it was, I think it was an email or a written document that specifically said, you owe us rent, please pay either via ACH or cash or credit card, which is contrary to the court's order as well. There's several notices that have been floating around. Another one says you owe us a lot of money and we want to do an occupancy check. And I think this is an effort to determine whether our units are vacant. And Your Honor pointed out that people may not have abandoned their units and relocate. So I'm a little concerned that they're going to treat it as abandoned when that's not actually the case. And then the third notice that we've seen a copy of is a housekeeping notice where they're going to do a housekeeping inspection. And I was a little perplexed by the effort behind that. I just wanted to make the court aware of it.
All right. I'm going to ask legal services to draft an order for the court regarding this escrow so we can just get this all clear. Escrow on these cases, it's to be paid to the court. I understand all of that. Let me just say this. I am exceedingly troubled by what I view as absolute lack of progress. I don't know that I care about anybody's intentions. I, at this point, may have to just care about what the results are in terms of it. So in that respect, because we were here, they knew that these repairs needed to be done. I issued an order February 4th. I don't see the progress that I'd like to see. I'm not saying that everything needed to be done, but I don't see the progress that I'd like to see. It seems that circumstances for some tenants are getting worse. What I am going to do is I'm going to set a hearing as to why the management, and I guess that's Mr. Beal, as well as Arbor One and Arbor One West, should not.
Boom. Why shouldn't you be held in civil contempt? That's the line. That's the legal bomb the judge just dropped. Civil contempt is serious, and it's now officially on the table for the property manager and the owner. If you were the judge, would you go this route too? Let's hear your verdict below.
Filed in every one of the cases that are before me. And somebody's going to have to show cause why this stuff isn't done to the court's satisfaction. I hate to go that route, but I don't have a choice. What I'm hearing today, I don't see any other option, because I don't think some are not listening to what the court is trying to tell them. So if I have to bring a heavy hammer, I'm just going to bring a heavy hammer. I was hoping we didn't have to go that route, but that's what I have to do. That's what we have to do. So we have copies for you of all. There are actually 40 copies of that order to show cause, and they've all been signed off and all set for March 11th. At 10, I do believe, so I can get some other things cleared out of the docket.
They keep on emailing her, asking her about her money.
About her money, what?
They keep around her.
About what?
Take pictures of her escrow payment to send it to them. And then they told her to turn her keys in, but she still stay there. And they told her to turn her keys in, they gonna come up on Monday and inspect her apartment.
That's what you were talking about.
After we told them that we don't have no keys. She had 2 autism brothers that live there with her.
Okay, all right, ma'am. Somebody's gonna have to put together something. You talked about the emails and those kinds of things. I need to see something in front of me so that I can try to deal with it. Ma'am?
What are they? Maybe that's email.
Now you're gonna throw out names. That's okay. Just, I'll tell you what, get those to legal services, okay, right here, and let them kind of get it before the court, get it properly before me, okay? And I will deal with it. The only thing that I will tell you, and I know it's got to be a bit distressing, in my order, I laid out that they were to direct tenancies if they were here before the court to pay it to court escrow or to the Ypsilanti Building Department, because they don't have COCs. So I'm just going to put it this way. Mr. Friedman, I know that you will direct your clients to do the proper thing. If they want to play with me,
They don't.
let them play,
They don't.
because they don't want to play the game. They do not want to do that.
No, I agree.
I am not, and just to be clear, I'm not going to have the higher ups tell me that somebody in the office did something that they shouldn't have been doing. The buck is going to stop as close to the top as I can get.
I hear you, Your Honor. The only one thing I did want to say, kind of in response to the lady's issue, and maybe I misheard her, but she said she reported no heat, and they said they were going to come out and inspect. I mean, that's okay, isn't it?
Well, it might. I don't think the two were connected. I think there was the report of no heat. Then there's the issue of her not paying and then wanting to inspect. I think, as I understood what she was telling me, those two things were connected, which was the same thing that Ms. Masco was indicating.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may, it seems like whenever the tenants bring up a repair problem, the first thing plaintiff wants to know is when they're going to pay their balance. They want proof of the payments in escrow, which they can just call the court and find out, honestly, or ask their counsel. To verify.
Oh, I don't think they really want to know that. What'd you say? Yeah, so I didn't use the word, but she did. I know what they're doing. Yes, ma'am.
Let you go first. I'll go after you.
Yes.
I was wondering, because I know the court has asked us at the last hearing on Tuesday to inspect all of the units that are before the court. And you had said that the 24-hour notice. I was wondering if the plaintiff can give that notice over the weekend, so on Monday, myself and Mr. Dunham can go out and actually inspect all of these units.
Can that happen?
Sure.
All right. Right now. Yes, ma'am.
Well, honestly, we already have noticed about, because we have 5 checks happening on Monday for 3 different issues. We have a housekeeping checklist that they need help with. We have an occupancy checker that they're doing on Monday as well. All these things are happening on Monday.
Oh, hold it. What do you mean?
Those emails that were provided to legal aid counsel, those are emails about what is happening on Monday. One of them I have both of them right here. On Monday, the 24th, between 8 and 5 p.m., Jessica from Real Properties will enter your unit for a housekeeping inspection. You do not have to be home. You can be if you like. The other one is an occupancy check, which is, hi, resident, I hope everything is well with you. We noticed your balance is quite high. Are you living on the property? If not, please give us a turn or return your keys. Either way, on Monday 2/24/25, we're going to check occupancy of your unit between 9 and 3. So everybody's going to be there on Monday. Yeah, everybody.
Mr. Masco, please put something together for the court so that
When we spoke with tenants earlier today, we were put on notice about these different things that have gone out to them that really have nothing to do with repairs or actually
Mr.
inspection.
Friedman, I know you've been before me, I don't know how many years. As best you can, you better get to your clients. You need to tell them just to stop it. They're playing a game. And if they think they're the ones gonna get burned, they're wrong. Anything else? All right. that will conclude the hearings. Mr. Freeman, we have your copies of your show causes. We can get you copies, or at least read. They're all the same in essence, but at least you can see what it is.